Why should Christians be modest? Well, in order to answer that accurately, we need to first find out what modesty really means. Most people will believe that modesty and humility mean the same, and though they are closely related, that's not actually the case. The root word for humility means earth and has the thought of lowliness, while modesty means being aware of one's limitations or placing a moderate estimate on one's abilities or worth. However, modesty is an aspect of humility. For instance, a humble person who has good sense, is wise, and uses a sound mind will also be modest. Therefore, a humble person will not resent suggestions or criticism, but a modest person is more likely to ask, where and how can I improve? Now that we understand what modesty really means, let's analyze why it's so important for Christians to develop this quality. Please turn with me to Micah 6, verses 8, and this will give us insight as to what Jehovah expects of us. It's Micah 6, verses 8. And it reads, He has told you, O earthling man, what is good. And what is Jehovah asking back from you but to exercise justice and to love kindness and to be modest in walking with your God? Jehovah's instructions here are clear. Now let's examine why it's beneficial to cultivate modesty. Proverbs 11:2 states that wisdom is with the modest one, and Jehovah can best work with those who don't try to lean upon their own understanding, but trust in Him to make their path straight, as brought out in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And the best examples of modesty are found in the Scriptures. Men such as Moses, Gideon, wise King Solomon, and the prophet Jeremiah. In all of those instances, Jehovah supplied their lack and gave them encouragement. Our second point will show how modesty helps us to avoid giving offense when trying to make friends. As the May 1st, 1962 Watchtower brings out, one who presumes too much is prone to encroach on the rights of others and so arouses fear and antagonism. Well, we all know that nobody likes a haughty or arrogant person, somebody who thinks they're all that all the time. But it brings out that ones who are not aware of their own limitations is bound to annoy others. And so, being modest, we will not want to alienate our acquaintances or stir up any envy by trying to keep up with the Joneses of the word or action, but rather we will try to be modest in these things. Please turn with me to Proverbs 27, verses 2. Let's see what that has to do. Proverbs 27, verse 2. May a stranger and not your own mouth praise you. May a foreigner and not your own lips do so. So if we are modest, we will not be talking too much, not monopolizing conversations, or run overtime when giving a scheduled talk. So I guess I should hurry up then. My final point in our discussion would modesty, also the course of wisdom that acts as a safeguard against the snares of the devil. Take Jesus for existence. If he was not modest, do you think he would have been inclined to resist Satan's offer to rule the world brought out in Matthew 4, 8, and 9? Of course not. So likewise today, modesty helps us to avoid the temptations described at 1 John 2:16. And I would ask you to turn there with me to 1 John 2:16. Because everything in the world, the desire of the flesh and the desire of the eyes and the showy display of one's means of life, does not originate with the Father, but originates with the world. So we see that if the things of the world lies in the power of the wicked one, and we don't want to be associated with Satan. So in conclusion, why as Christians should we be modest? Not only is it one of Jehovah's requirements, but also too, because it puts us in line to be used more by our Creator, and it makes for better relations with our fellow man, and it safeguards us from the temptations of Satan, the world. Indeed, wisdom is with the modest.
that more than my first report on. Did an excellent job. Excellent job. We're working on scriptures effectively introduced. Not only was your material very well laid out, but the scriptures, you did a couple of things. One, you gave us enough time to be able to get to the scriptures, and sometimes these others tend not to do that. The other thing was that you mentioned the scriptures more than once, so that for us older ones that forget what you said, start off with when you get to the scripture, we're able to be able to pick it up. One thing that you might take a look at is in the scripture, on the full guidebook, on 147. It deals with, there are two things that we want to accomplish by introducing the scriptures. One is to arouse anticipation, and the other is to focus attention on the reason that we're trying to use that particular text. And so that might be something that you take a look at the next time you do that. Again, whether you did an excellent job, we appreciate the effort that you put into it. And I thank everybody for their